Hey guys, welcome to Surf and Show. I'm Noel Salas with special guest Magnum Martinez, buddy from a long time. Thanks for having us. We're in Puerto Rico. Magnum lives in Isabela. We're talking back and forth. He said the waves are always going off here. So Aaron and I haven't been on a surf trip, like a legit surf trip, probably since the late 90s.
Wow, it's a long time.
But we're here now and we're stoked to check out your house, learn a little bit about Magnum, his family, your life. So thanks for having us.
I'm glad that, you broke the ice again, like coming here to Puerto Rico to visit us. And this place is almost always pumping. Like obviously it's like anywhere you get your smaller, run of swells. But, we're just, in general, we're really happy to live here, and we really appreciate the local community and just the good vibes in general.
Yeah, so our community doesn't know this, but Aaron and I have been here for about 5 or 6 days now. We've been surfing every day with Mags, and traveling back on tour with Magnum, it was getting in a car, getting in a plane, and it was an adventure.
Always.
Right? Getting lost. We didn't have phones, and so we didn't have how to get from here to there, right? But now, the way I want to travel, if I'm going to travel, is I want a guide, somebody that knows all the waves, is a local with the people, and you've been here for
9 years now. Yeah, coming to 10 at the end of this year.
Wow.
Yeah.
And we've been going to some of the local spots, meeting some of the local surfers. They've been very nice.
And I think that's super key when you're traveling, traveling all over the world. And it was always that connection with the local community and the locals, that made it extra special, traveling and learning about the culture and allow them to show you their place, And I think that there's something very special to be said about that. And somebody that knows the tides, the wind direction, the swell direction, all those details that are not easy. We can get to the best spot and we can have good vibes and we can have that, that nice hospitality, being respectful to the locals always and connecting with the local community.
Now, one of the things I noticed, Magnum, is we went down to, I think it's called Uma's.
Yeah, Uma's
to grab a
restaurant.
drink and have some breakfast one morning. And I know that you're a coach, right? But I saw you working with the kids and the little waves for training at some of the places that I thought were excellent for the kids, And I also saw you working with some adults.
Yeah.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about coaching that you're doing.
Yeah. Well, first of all, this place is blessed, the amount of different waves we have in this island, from really heavy slabby waves to super friendly longboarding fish or like kids waves. Mm-hmm. It's amazing, and it really offers a good platform for kids or even adults that are learning how to surf.
Sure.
I've kind of expanded my reach as a coach, being a competitive surfer and surfing professional for so many years and doing the whole thing. I love to work with high level surfers, but I kind of really enjoy working with different level, different ages, age group, people in their 50s, almost their 60s. Mm-hmm. And I love it because you see the appreciation level on those folks, mm-hmm. And they're eager to learn. So I think you learn a lot from all this variety of surfers, it's refreshing.
Now, Mags, we've surfed a bunch of different waves, been pretty small.
Yeah, it's been small.
So we've been talking about boards a lot over the years.
Yeah.
And I see you got some different IPA boards. You got a twin pin over there. You and I talk all the time. You said you don't ride thrusters very often anymore.
Not anymore.
Yeah. And I understand why you don't. I mean, quads and twin fins are so fast and they're so much fun. But the different types of waves, you can ride just about any board type here that I've seen on different wave types.
That's very true, yeah.
But why don't you walk us through what you're riding right now and what you like in the different wave types?
Yeah, so I'll start with this little guy right here. This is Aquila's board, IPA. He's out of Hawaii. Aquila's a great guy, a great surfer himself. And I started riding his boards a long time ago. And this is the modfish, right?
Modern fish.
Modern fish, yeah. And this board, it's very fast, very loose, very responsive. This thing, to me, it's small waves. You know, I don't mess around. I know this is one of the best boards that I ever, my whole life surfed on, smaller waves. And I've learned how to ride these boards as twinnies without the trailer. And today, there was a couple, you know, shoulder, maybe, you know, a little bit faster, and just change to your fins, a little bit more area, a little more grip, a little more stable and drive. And then once you learn how to ride a tweenie, how it's supposed to be ridden, the rail to rail, then it's like, it's hard to go back to a thruster. I have no plans in the future to go back to thrusters.
Yeah, you're ripping on that little board.
Thank you.
All the boards that I've seen you surfing on, like, you can tell you've been surfing these waves for a long time, bro.
Yeah, man.
The other thing that our community doesn't know is that you're 130 pounds.
Very light.
Yeah, and how tall are you?
I go by 5'7", but I'm 5'6 3/4. But I figure since I'm over the half inch, I might as well go for 5'7".
Okay, so 5'6 3/4, 130 pounds. What's the volume on your boards? Like, you have a range?
I do, and people trip on it because this thing is 22.2 liters. Whoa. You know, so I go from this guy to, you know, these two boards are probably closer to 23.5, more or less. This one's, I believe it's almost like 25, but this is a twin pin for bigger waves, a lot, like, has more volume. So I'm anywhere from 22, high 22s to maybe just under 26, you know, depending on what board for what kind of waves. Obviously, bigger waves, you want more volume, you know, and on that paddle power and all that stability. So
now, this is a Duke IPA, this is Duke IPA, and that's Aquila's brother.
Yeah, that's Aquila's brother.
I believe this is the Dark Horse.
Yes.
And this is the DNA.
It's a beautiful collab, that board, because it's, you know, Ben IPA's designs, that, you know, that thing right there, and which is a classic design of his, and a legendary shaper coach himself. And no wonder Aquila and Duke are such, you know, in tune guys, shapers, with coaching, you know. And they all combine all that. So the DNA actually makes a lot of sense, that name for that board. And so it's a combination, a collaboration of all their designs, kind of. But what I love about this board, he kind of messes around a lot with their fins. He kind of creates unique fins for his designs. This is Duke. And I really like what he did with this quad, because it has a feel of a loose quad, like more like a twin fin than a normal quad. Like this is kind of more drivey, holdy, you know. So I think the fins have a lot to do. Obviously, the, you know, bottom contour, the concaves, the V, and all that. But that board, it's really fast, it's loose, it's responsive, and then this is a very foam board, and I really like that construction. It's been strong. It has that extra, you know, flex that the PU doesn't have. And so that was really nice. First time riding a varial board.
So talk to us about the Dark Horse. The Dark Horse, I've ridden the Dark Twin, and I have the Dark Horse.
Which I want to get.
Yeah, the Dark Twin's excellent.
Duke.
Yeah. But tell us a little bit about the construction on the Dark Horse.
Yeah, so this board, this construction really blew my mind. I have to be honest. And it really, first of all, it's really strong. This board has barely any pressure dents. And as much as I try to keep my boards clean, you know, like, you know, boards get worked. And this construction is super strong and durable. But the most impressive thing, and I'm going to be super honest and to the point, when you hit a lip with this board, the responsive, the reaction, the flex, the springiness you get out of the lip, I never felt in any other construction. Not epoxy, not even on the varial. This thing has a response, like, to hit a lip, a type of flex and like a springiness out of the lip that not only projects you really fast, but also somehow the board always lands under my feet. And I'm gonna share with Duke and the construction that capability. But this board, I hit some of the latest, like almost inverted sections. And I'm like, a lot of times you poke your nose, this thing goes boom and lands flat.
Sick.
And it's really impressed me to a point that I'm like, whoa, I'm standing on my board. I pulled that. I was like, wow.
Now you got the twin pin over there, and you and I've talked, but that's more of a good wave board for you. And I heard you were charging on it on the last big swell.
Session on the last swell, and the waves are 10, 12 foot faces, but with power. When the waves get over the 8 feet range here, they're powerful. They're island style. It's deep water canyon out there. Probably the third deepest part of the world in the ocean. It's right straight out. That's why we get, this type of swells. And I tell you, I rode my 6'2" Kailani twin with a pin and and I love that board, and it felt really good, but it felt like I almost could have had something a little looser. So then I was like, I'm gonna give this thing a try. That's why I got it. I mean, it may be a little out of its range, 10, 12 foot. It's a 5'5". I was thinking 6, 8, 10 feet, great. And I paddled out, and I did not get off of it for the rest of the swell.
Wow.
And this thing felt so engaged, so solid under my feet.
Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode, hanging out with Magnum Martinez here in Puerto Rico. Mags, stoked to have you on the show. And I want to tell our community, you guys have an Air BnB here. I can highly recommend that if you want to get out and travel, come to Puerto Rico, book Magnum as a guide and get to know the culture, get to know the people, and Magnum will take you to all the best spots.
Yeah, it's part of it's almost like guiding becomes it's like coaching, but at different level, and it depends on the needs of that client or those clients, if they're like, hey, I just want to get fun waves, I want to have a good time. And then, but obviously everyone can learn a little bit about technique, about positioning, and what waves to take, how to actually behave around a certain spot. Their currents are different, where to paddle out, where to come in. It's a lot of reef here. It's a lot of sea urchins, and you're sea urchin free so far.
Yeah, I have no accidents, no problems.
So I think that's a little bit part of my job. I don't, sea urchins are annoying. All that local knowledge, and by all means, I'm not the only guide here. There's great people in Rincon, another kid, Jorgito, he's starting to do it. And I love that because it's like, come in, hire a guide, and get with the community, understand it and feel it and live it. And it's gonna make your whole experience that much richer, and it's really gonna show you what's up here. What's this place all about, instead of like going to hotel surf, back to hotel. So I'm here guiding, coaching, and it's fun, man.
Yeah, guys, the water's been 80 degrees. Puerto Rico's an absolutely beautiful island. We've been to multiple spots. We had a great time. So I'm going to put links below in the YouTube comment field below, so you can reach out to Magnum, whether you want a guide, a coach, you want to stay at the Air BnB. Guys, get to Puerto Rico. It's beautiful here. You'll love it. Until next time, we'll see you in the water. Bye-bye.